Hello and welcome to Side Character Quest. This is Ty, your usual host, DM, editor. I do all the stuff, all the random things. But you know what I don't do? I don't actually play the game I play the game. DMs play the game, right, Josh?
They should. A little bit at least.
And that would be the player in name, the player, Josh Lorimer. Hello, Josh. How are you doing today?
I'm great, man. It's a great day. It's, the world's on fire, but I'm here to play some D&D and a fantasy world.
And a fantasy world that's on fire. Want to give a quick recap?
Quick recap. Okay, so last time on Side Character Quest, should I do the whole voice?
It's up to you.
Last time on Side Character Quest, Faer Landing explored the East Wing, West Wing?
West Wing.
The wing.
North. I think it's technically the North Wing.
The abandoned wing.
The abandoned wing.
Of the Twain Manor House. Burrowing deep underground, he then uncovered a hidden catacomb in which there lie, breaking forth through a door, undead skeleton warriors. What else?
And then he ran upstairs, went over to the foyer, burst in, said, "Hey guys, there's some skellies coming."
Also, totally aced murdering somebody. We'll just throw that underneath there.
Yeah, did a real good job.
Fair Landing, cold-blooded. He just took that guy out and ended up actually giving himself the perfect cover.
Yeah,
totally just because people talked about undead, just threw that out there to cover his butt, and lo and behold, he's just gonna. I just love it. It's perfect. Was this? And I have so many questions, Ty, as a player and a DM. I'm like, is this gonna happen the whole time? Were these guys just gonna be breaking through no matter what? Did I stumble into a good excuse for murder?
Who knows?
Gosh,
I know.
Yeah, I know you know. I know what it's like, BDM. I'm excited. I'm ready.
The rain has picked up again. Absolute chaos. Without Lord Frederick giving out orders, those green Lumineers are divided between those looking for a leader and those failing to be a leader loudly. 3 of them are holding down a red-scaled cleric spouting occasional bursts of flames.
What?
While a 4th shouts questions in her face. Meanwhile, a bespectacled dwarven professor has managed to wrangle together the members of clergy not hiding in their rooms to set up wards outside the crime scene beneath the stairs. Thanks to his efforts, there's no way that Durham's spirit is going to escape that room.
No way.
And as distant lightning crashes, so too do the doors to the foyer, as Abbot Faer Landing, white and indigo robes billowing, bursts forth and announces the incoming undead. Now, you said no way, so let me just quick reminder. When you left, you told Professor Tucker to basically inspect that scene because Durham's spirit had come up and whatever. So he has spent this past amount of time setting up wards alongside some of the clergy to prevent said undead spirit leaving that space.
Exactly as I had planned it. Exactly as just as I had warned. The dead are upon us. Bare your arms and prepare your spells.
So you look around this space, and as you're announcing yourself, some of the Lumineers turn towards you, and they're holding their clubs, and some of them are kind of fumbling with them as they're trying to get them to the ready. Some of the clerics are looking very worried, very concerned about what is going on, but are not immediately taking action. They're kind of looking around the room, and it's all just kind of chaos in this space. And as all of this is happening, you hear a deep, growling voice coming from beneath that pile of Lumineers on the floor.
Will someone please explain to me what is happening?
Hold on. Is that the painter?
No, this is the voice coming from a red-scaled dragonborn who is being held down by these Lumineers. It's someone you do not recognize.
Is that Gilderange?
This is me. And she shoves aside the Lumineers holding her down, and she stands up. She has a pretty stout, imposing frame, but is not particularly tall. And she walks up to you. What is happening? What, are you in charge here?
I am in charge. I am Abbot Faer Landing.
Where is Lord Frederick? Why is he not? What is the meaning of all this?
Where is Lord Frederick? I raise my my staff up and pointed at her. I say, Lord Frederick is dead, and the undead are bearing down upon us as we speak. Where have you been?
Her eyes widen and she takes a quick step back and she raises her hands. I got lost in the. Listen, as I've been trying to tell these underlings, these minions over here, I got lost in the maze outside. It's not my fault. I just wanted to go for a pleasant little stroll.
That makes sense. I get it. Hedge mazes. Been there.
Yes, rough.
Yeah. Literally.
Now, you probably have about at least a minute before you have to worry about anything approaching. It might be longer, but that is the amount of time you have where it is safe. Assuming these things are like chasing after you.
All right, I'm gonna gesture to two of the beefier looking Lumineers. Like maybe they just look like they have a little more raw muscle.
Yeah.
All right, you and you.
Yep.
Things 1 and 2. Bar the doors.
I'm one.
Sure, that's fine.
The doors that you just came through,
Yes.
they walk up to those doors. Well, actually, roll me a persuasion check real quick, just to see how you're commanding the scene.
I do not roll good persuasion. I have a great plus, but it's an.
If you want to argue advantage here.
I did. They're all taking orders from me since Frederick's dead. I would say, if anything, they're more susceptible to influence because
Okay.
they're leaderless and a little underprepared.
Okay, I will buy that. Roll me advantage.
Okay. Oh, come on, guys.
You're looking for a 14.
That was almost a lower roll, and then the dice tip, and I got an 18.
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah. They nod their heads, these two guys, and immediately start running up to the door, and they slam it shut. And looking around the room, let's say there's a, I don't know. Tell me something in this room that they can use to like barricade.
Maybe like a wooden bench.
Sure.
Like a bench that would like line the sides, something like that.
Yeah, we'll say that there's a bench near the entrance where people are allowed to, sit and take off their shoes if they're the sort to do that. And they take that, start pulling it over and cramming it against the door. Meanwhile, you see Professor Tucker walk up to you with his mismatched glasses and... if you just explain, it sounded like you said something about undead. What's the deal here? What's going on?
Look, you're the one who's the undead expert. What do you mean what's going on? You should understand.
I'm not an undead expert. What are you talking about? I
You're
just
the one
knew
who
that
told me
Durham.
about the undead.
I told you that Durham was arrested for necromancy. I'm an expert in having been raised in Mount Rena. That doesn't mean that I know the undead.
I'm gonna look over at Gilderange and I'm gonna point and be like, doctors, am I right?
Yes, that sounds about right. So you're in charge now, is that correct?
That is correct.
So what is
Completely in charge.
So what is the plan? We just wait here until these things come bursting at the door? What are there? How many are there?
There's a whole bunch, a lot of them, like a good giant chunk of them underground. Is Chet around?
Chet has been standing at the top of the stairs. As you look around, you see him at the top of the stairway. Well, looking down at all of this, and as you catch eyes with him, are you making sort of an eye contact, like "come here" kind of thing?
Yeah, I want to get an eye on him because he had to have known something.
Yes. So he comes down the stairwell and kind of leans in close to your ear.
Did you find anything? Did you find anything?
He looks.
I slap him in the face.
Oh, okay. Slap.
Backhanded slap. And I said, "You're already late to getting Lady Twain. Bring her to me now. We have undead warriors building up from the floor."
He, looks startled and then rushes up the stairs and goes to grab, presumably goes to grab Lady Twain.
So I lean over to, I'm going to lean on my staff and lean over to Gilderange again. I'm going to say, this isn't my first surprise raid by like creatures of some sort, but you'd think, you're never really used to it. It happens once, you think you'll be good at the next one, but every time it's chaos.
I suppose I wouldn't really have a lot of experience. Does this happen often?
Is this your first surprise raid?
Yes, that does not happen. We do not have. The Salton Sea is not exactly the place where undead come bubbling up all the time.
Sure, now not. Now it's a resort, but like back in my day, Salton Sea. Whew, you never knew what you were gonna get.
Okay, sure.
As you are saying that, you start to hear footsteps coming down those hallways, coming down the hallway that you had originally come from behind those doors.
Okay.
And you can tell that these skeletons are approaching. You don't have a lot of time before they are going to arrive.
I would like to roll a history.
Okay.
Have I ever encountered the undead or know any kind of lore knowledge about encounters with the undead that could perhaps aid me?
Cool. Okay.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. This is
19.
19. Okay. So one thing that I'll tell you is necromancy on any large scale is incredibly uncommon.
Okay.
If you were even if you were 150, 200 years old, you could very well have never encountered it.
Okay.
But you are approaching 300, and you have had a long, long life. And so there's a few things that you have picked up over your years. Perhaps I'm not going to put history in your mouth, background in your mouth, but I'll say, yeah, you know a few things.
Listen, if there's anybody who's not that concerned with what goes in his mouth, it's Faer landing.
You know that they are susceptible to, just in general, undead are susceptible to certain types of divine magic.
Okay.
You know that they tend to operate under the direct control of some other being. However, it is also possible for them to operate under commands issued, and then, they operate until those commands are fulfilled, regardless of whether they are, constantly getting updated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I'll say about that.
Okay. Anybody here have radiant spells?
Everyone looks around. The clergy, you look around the room, and they all immediately look to the Lumineers. And one of the Lumineers that's standing by the door, number one, he glances at everybody else and is like, I'm pretty sure none of us have gotten that far along.
Are you kidding me? Where's Sister Robin?
That would be over here. And Sister Robin pops her head out. She is at the top of the stairs bringing down Lulabelle Twain along with Chet.
Okay, Sister Robin, do you recall
Yes.
when we had a fresh batch of apples come in and everybody wanted to eat some? We had to organize all of the people of the Abbey into orderly rows so everyone could get some, and there wasn't any kind of chaos, right?
You try. That was not correct. Yes, I think what you're saying is that you want me to get everybody organized to deal with this whole incoming force. Is that correct?
Yeah, and if you already know what I want, why are you still here?
Hey, all right, I'm getting it going. And you hear her starting to shout out commands to the other clergy member and the setting up the.
I basically want waves. I want 2 waves. One
Setting up
that
the
takes the
Lumineers.
brunt and then can back off while the other wave jumps in and relieves them.
Exactly. You set up. She sets up a row of like maybe 3 Lumineers at the front, then another row of 3, one watching the front door, and then the rest are upstairs as like sort of a backup. Then the
Ideally,
clerics.
Any clerics can heal whoever's taking a break.
Exactly.
From the onslaught. Okay. Awesome.
And as this happens, you see Lulabelle Twain. Roll me a quick insight check.
Critical fail. I've never been good at these. Good grief.
Yeah, I will say you see her, and whatever you are already thinking about her before I give any description of how she is looking.
I have no insight.
That is 100%. You feel very confident in whatever you are judging.
I'm almost certain that she fully is aware of how much crap we're in and is going to be guilty.
Okay. And now you definitely 100% believe that.
Yeah.
And she looks at you and sees some sort of... Does she see any sort of fierceness in your eyes? Any sort of accusation?
I would think more superiority.
Okay.
Like I'm looking on her like, I know your secret and I'm better than you.
What has happened? I feel like I only was asleep for maybe an hour, and what has happened?
I would like to lead her kind of away from the doors and where everyone's gathering for the attack, because even if the attack starts, I want to be able to have a conversation with her.
Yeah, she walks over, and as you guys are walking over, you hear thuds against the door.
Oh, so intense. Madam Twain, Gilderange, please. Gesture for him to join us.
Her.
Her.
Yes.
Apologies.
That's okay.
I believe it's time, Madam Twain, that you shared with us a little bit about your father.
She looks at him, and as you say that, are you trying? You said you were trying to intimidate her, basically, right?
Yeah, definitely. Should I roll an intimidate?
Yeah, give me an intimidation.
It was almost natty. 9.
9? Okay. I'm going to say you have advantage here because of the fact that Auguste Gilderange has just been getting hassled by the Lumineers, and now you appear to be accusing this person of something. Auguste is going to be, like, assisting you in this intimidation. She is standing there. You see a little bit of glow, fiery glow in her mouth.
Ooh, I like that. 15.
15. Okay.
Could have been better.
Let me just roll a quick. Okay.
Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. I had nothing
to do with, and as she says that, the door opens, knocks open for just a moment, and you see a skeletal hand reach in and then pull back as the door slams shut again.
I'm not even going to turn. I'm just going to stay eyes on her.
And she was looking past you and saw all of that happen, facing the doorway.
Oh God. If you, my father died of. I may have hired someone to take care of him, but that was a long time ago, and I was just that's neither here nor there. I swear that has.
And then she pauses for a moment as she seems to like think of something, and I'm gonna have her roll a history check.
You know, I think I'd seen that zookeeper before.
The zookeeper? Hold on. You just confessed to murdering your father.
No. I did not murder anyone. I just had a conversation with someone and then he got out of my way. That doesn't... and that was a long time ago. That has nothing to do with what's going on here.
Oh, sure. I'm sure it has nothing to do with what's going on. We're fine. We don't need to learn any more information. Let's just let the undead run upon us.
Doors knock open again and then slam shut.
Listen, all that happened was that in exchange, I had to be prepared to do a favor. And all that favor was to allow my staff to be temporarily replaced for this event. And that's all I know, I swear.
So you're asking that we put aside the assassination of your father, removal of him for your power, and You're just trying to tell us about the staff getting overturned?
It's true. All that happens. She is stammering as she is realizing like the weight that is being of what is being accused of her. That she like set up all of this, and she's turns to look towards Auguste Gilderange, and I swear I was not involved with this at all. I swear this had nothing to do with all of this had nothing to do with me.
Okay.
You can roll me an insight if you want.
Yeah, I want to roll an insight, but that's actually not bad. 15.
15. You believe her that you believe the facts of what she said, that she hired an assassin to kill her father sometime in the past, that as part of that she was given the favor to replace her staff temporarily, and that she does not know why she was asked to replace that staff.
Okay. And who asked you to do this?
It was I don't know her name. I don't know her name. She came to me one day, just was in my offices in Cirque, and just I don't know.
Why would you do this? So are you saying that the in order to get your father removed, all you had to do was change your staff out? Or are these two different events?
Two different events. She,
okay.
To clarify, she had him killed and was told she would be asked, a favor would be asked of her sometime in the future. And when that favor came, that was...
This is tied together. Okay.
Yeah.
So this individual is the same individual that had you change the staff is the one that told you that got removed your father.
I believe so, yes. Oh, yes, definitely, yes.
And you have no ledger, nothing written.
I think that I might have heard one of her guards whisper the name Hosalda.
Hosalda?
That'll be meaningful to longtime listeners.
Okay. The notion of a exchange of like something as dark as that for power has kind of, I think, unconsciously, Faer rests his hand on where his knife is located in his robes, just kind of pommels palms the handle a little bit, just unconsciously thinking about that exchange, and it's very close to him, personal.
As that happens, you hear another thud of the door, and then one of the doors cracks loudly, and when that happens, your head turns around to look towards that, and you see Simone sitting on the stairs, smiling at you, and then sort of tilts her head over towards the action.
All right, Gilderange, what's your specialty?
I am focused in. I work for the god Guino, god of tributaries, waters, that sort of thing. I don't know how useful I will be here.
Great. Okay, can anyone bless a weapon?
One of the clergy sort of raises their hand and says,
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it real good.
I would like to go like full Gandalf and grab like a sword from someone, like a long sword that I can hold in one hand and then my staff in the other. And I want to kind of enter the fray.
Gotcha. So there aren't any. We'll say that
it doesn't have to be actually like imbued with any.
Yes.
I'm half of this is for show with Faer.
Gotcha. So there's none of the Lumineers are holding bladed weapons. They're all holding clubs and the like. But we'll say that there is an antique sword hanging on the wall, and you grab that down. And
Excellent.
The person runs up to you and places their hand on the blade, says a few words, and the blade moss grows over the blade. Ooh. And then that moss has little flowers burst on it. So yeah, you have this enchanted longsword, magical longsword.
Sweet. Okay, cool. I'll go with that. Works. Prepare yourselves.
And right as that happens, the doors burst forward and the skeletons spill in.
Can I thaumaturgy a bright light above everyone's head, like facing the
Hell
kind
yeah.
of illuminates the skeletons? Yeah, as the doors breaking open, I point my sword above as I kind of step amidst the Lumineers, and I just say, "Prepare yourselves!"
The rows of Lumineers hunker down. 1 and 2 are in the front, right as these skeletons burst in. They are all wearing tattered. They're stepping over the bench that's in the way as the doors sort of shatter.
Nobody's taking a seat. Nobody's just kind of taking a short break.
No one's taking a short rest.
Okay.
But you see Lulabelle runs up the stairs as these skeletons meet the first row of Lumineers. And these skeletons, they are dressed in tattered pants and shirts, which have chainmail underneath. You can see that they're holding an assortment of rusted weapons, and one of them is holding a sword and shield. The shield is emblazoned in a boar crest.
Of course.
And they come in and meet the first row of Lumineers, and I'm going to roll to see how they do against one another. This is the skulls. This is the Lumineers. We'll see how they do. Oh, wow. Okay, the Lumineers rolled a nat 20. So that first row that meets, as the one with the sword and shield comes in, number 1 takes his club and then swings over the sword, cracking into the skull of that person whose head shatters, and they just go down.
Oh.
And now it is your turn.
Did any of it get on me?
Oh no, you're like halfway across the room.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Oh.
So I create a twisting pattern of, and this is a ranged attack, ranged spell, 120 feet. So the plan would be for this to be right on the door where as many of the skeletons are as possible.
Okay.
I create a twisting pattern of colors that weave through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range. The pattern appears for a moment, then vanishes. Each creature in the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw. On a fail, they become charmed for the duration.
Radical. So as you do that, Professor Tucker sees what is happening, and as a reaction, I'm going to... that doesn't do very good. Add 1 to the thing that that they have to save against.
Okay, awesome. That would make it a 16.
16, okay.
Wisdom.
Oh,
I'm hoping skellies are low on wisdom.
it doesn't matter, nat 20.
Oh.
So I will say, I will say that they shrug that off. Is there any side effects if they pass?
Let's see here. Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna roll twice because it's a group. We'll see how the next group goes through, or the next half of the group. These guys got a 15.
Okay.
So they just missed.
I'm so bothered that it took the help of of the doctor.
So what was the effect again?
They become charmed. While charmed by this spell, they are incapacitated and have a speed of 0.
Gotcha.
So they would just basically stand there.
Yes, so the first row of the skellies are still fighting. The ones immediately behind who hadn't engaged with anybody yet, they are entranced by this hypnotic pattern in the air.
Okay, so the spell ends after a creature takes any damage or if someone else uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor. So it's a temporary pause, but I'm trying to wage them back. Okay, and that's all I'll do. I am going to just kind of prepare myself if things go south.
Gotcha. So so basically how I'm handling this combat to keep things moving on a quick basis, once per round, a round is made up of these two forces clashing and then you doing something.
Okay.
And then once per round, one of the clerics or Professor Tucker can do something to aid or hinder one of the groups.
Awesome.
Yes. So they're going to roll both sides. We'll see how these skellies do. 5 and 6. A 5 and a 6. So the Skellies rolled a 5, the Lumineers rolled a 6, and just barely swung in there, dodged through the spears that the skeletons are like stabbing forward, knocked one out of the way, slammed to the ribs through the chainmail. And as that is happening, one of the clerics moves their hand into a swift motion in the air, adding a gust of wind, pushing forward against against number 2, adding a little bit of extra oomph to their impact, causing one of these speared skellies to buckle and fall backwards, landing onto the ground.
Awesome. Okay, how far away am I from the action?
We'll say you are about 20 feet away. Sound right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fairly big room, but you are also like maybe 2/3 of the way across, away from it, away from the action.
All right.
Because they're still like in the doorway.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to discern strategically whether or not this manor, the way it's set up, is able to withstand the level of warfare that is happening.
Okay.
And like whether it's just a matter of time before we're overwhelmed, or if I want to get a sense, and I want to draw on what I've read. So I want to draw on any kind of combat in history, if I can think of any event that was similar to this, not necessarily the undead, but just in warfare.
Gotcha.
And think, would it be better for us to try and barricade ourselves here and fight here, or should we make our way out and like try and give ourselves more space?
Gotcha. Roll me I guess that can be a history check.
Okay. History. I have decent history. 15.
15. I will say that you know a couple things. The building that you are in is I believe it's pre-loss, I have said before. So it is old material that is held up over a very long time. And although there's paneling and wood and painting that has been like made this place refurbished and make it look very nice and new, the bones of this building are bones. The bones of this building are strong, hard stone. So this is a bit of a fortress.
Okay.
That being said, they are inside and the doors have crumbled.
Yeah.
So
are they coming from anywhere else, or are they coming just from that direction that they chased me?
roll me a perception check.
That would be 12.
As far as you can tell, they are only coming from the direction that you also came from. That being said, you did do a bit of a loop, so it's possible they're coming from the abandoned wing as well.
Okay.
Or some other entrance, but you have no way of knowing that. You can't hear any movement that way. You don't see anything. Obviously, doors are closed. So yeah.
Which of I'm gonna step forward amidst the Lumineers that are fighting, and I would like to, whichever, is there any fighter that's like kind of standing out right now amidst everybody?
1 and 2 are definitely I love that that's what you called them. 1 and 2 are definitely doing the best. Everyone here, roll me a quick insight.
Finally a good roll for just a little thing. That would be 21.
Ooh, okay, I'll tell you this. You have gathered from all this time watching these Lumineers, looking at how they've reacted to everything that has happened and to the various questions you have asked. These people are all fairly new. Like, they are green, they don't have a lot of experience with any of this, and any combat experience is coming purely from what they probably had prior to joining the Church of Lumen.
Okay.
That being said, Lumineers 1 and 2 are big, beefy boys and are really holding their own. There's also a woman who is in the front row who is doing very well and seems fairly confident for herself as well. But everybody else is really just, I mean, they're not running. They're not running.
Okay.
But,
okay. In my hand, I use my primary hand holding my staff. I step up behind the two, and I put the staff on number 1 and cast guidance.
Ooh.
Allowing him to have kind of a minor, a D4 added to an ability check rolled. So I'd like to imagine like my staff kind of like illuminates a little bit, and I cast guidance, and then as I do that in my offhand, with the longsword, I would like to just shoot out a quick strike at a skeleton in front of number 2.
Gotcha. Are you able to do are those as like a bonus action or whatever?
Oh, you're right. That's a fighter thing, isn't it? I just totally thought that. Yeah. Oh no, wait. I think I can, but it doesn't get any of the strength at. It's just the dice roll.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
So I don't have any kind of you can't add your extra damage to it. That's the fighter gets the ability to add that. I don't. Okay, so that's just 16.
16? Oh yeah, that still hits. Describe to me you hitting one of the spear wielding skellies.
Oh, spear wielding.
Or
okay.
you could go for a coup de grace of the one that's like on the ground.
I would like to, if the spear wielding one that's coming at or that's attacking number 2. I would like. Oh, go ahead.
Do you want me to describe the front row?
Please.
Okay. So like I said before, there was like 2 rows of skellies. The row in the back is still charmed by your prismatic pattern that is floating in the air. The row in the front, one was carrying a sword and shield, and number 1 crashed their skull through. 2 of them were carrying spears. One of those 2 is on the ground, but still, operational. And then the 4th in the front row is holding a double-bladed axe that's very rusted, but still quite sharp looking.
I guess I'll try and coup de grace the one if I can kill one, that's awesome. 7.
So, okay.
That's a good roll. And it does have branches on it.
Yeah, it has like moss growing off of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, how about you take that sword, slam it straight into the skull, and as you do, the moss spreads out, or no, maybe through the ribs, and the moss like spreads off of the blade and over the bones, and the bones start to deteriorate and fall apart.
Ooh, who was the guy that did that?
That was yours, right?
No, the guy who gave me that anointing. What's his name? Who is this?
It was a random generic cleric that I.
He now is very. I like him a lot. Who's this?
Oh boy, what will his name be? We don't
have to learn it now. I'm gonna just look back at him and okay, you're a keeper. I'm gonna keep him alive.
This gnomish man nods his head at you.
So that I was just trying to inspire everybody by getting up there and supporting the 2 strong guys. It's a morale move. I didn't think I would do much.
And as that is happening, the wave of skellies, the one with the double-bladed axe is going to swing at you.
Of course. I have the smallest armor class.
Aww. 8.
I have 12, so...
Oh, jeez. That's so unfortunate. The blade swings by you, and you maybe tuck your belly in to avoid... as it almost cuts into your indigo and white robes.
Ooh, don't you ruin the robes.
Almost. Oh, so close. And then I'm going to have the 2 fronts interact with one another. Okay, finally, the skellies managed to get a hit off. Oh, come on. All right, right after the double-bladed axe swipes at you, Oh, actually... You know what? You took out. Oh, okay. No, never mind. There was still the standing one with the spear. I was about to say that everybody was still charmed, but no, that's not the case. One of the ones with the spear, so they stick out and try to stab in at number 2, who bounces out of the way and takes a little bit of a nick to their side, but is still standing.
Okay. So someone tried to attack me and failed?
Yes, double-bladed axe guy tried to attack you.
All right. I would like to do an Eldritch Blast right in his face.
Ooh. All right, roll that.
25.
Of course that hits. Of course that hits.
Yes.
Roll me some damage.
All right. 2.
Oh, okay.
2 force damage.
Describe to me what this looks like as you do not kill this person, but hit them with this blast.
I like to think it would extend from my staff like a lavender purple light orby blast of energy.
All right, cool. That swoops out, hits this person in their, we'll say in their left shoulder, and their shoulder glances back. and the rags that they're wearing sort of tear away, revealing the bright chainmail underneath.
Chainmail underneath on the skeleton?
Yes, so they're wearing rags over. I guess it would be under the chainmail. I don't know how I guess maybe both. They're probably wearing clothes, rags, chainmail, tabard, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so maybe the tabard bursts off and there's chainmail underneath.
These are warrior skeletons, basically. These aren't just like villager skeletons.
Roll me a quick investigation.
I feel like seeing that. I don't need to investigate. That's a 10.
10? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's accurate.
My passive investigation is 12.
Yeah, that's plenty. These guys are definitely dressed as warriors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to move away from the front.
Okay, cool. You back up. I think I just had the skellies actually. Oh no, you just did your Eldritch Blast. So you do that, then back up, and these two forces are going to strike against each other. And as they do, I'm going to say, Professor Tucker. Let's see. No, I'm not going to have Professor. I'm going to say Auguste Gilderanche, who has come up behind you, breathes out a burst of flames over the Lumineers at the Skellies.
So cool.
To try to push them back and aid them a little. So I'm going to give the Lumineers advantage on this roll. Oh, and they're going to fucking need it.
Oh, no.
Nope. That was a 14 from the Lumineers. The Skellies got a nat 20.
Oh, man.
Double dice.
This is not good.
I'm using modified like minion rules from 4E.
Okay.
Which is really keeping things moving. I like.
Yeah, 4E was big on that.
Yeah. Oh boy. As the burst of flames goes over the heads of these Lumineers and they duck down, number 1 and number 2, and then their friend on the far side, all stand back up and smile and getting ready to strike as soon as the flames pass away. And the double-bladed axe digs into number 1's rib cage.
Oh.
And they slump down.
Now they're like fiery undead murderers bursting forth.
Yep. And he looks like he is dying. Now it's your turn.
Gosh darn. Okay, I'm trying to think here. All right, fair. I haven't taken any damage yet because that one attack missed me. Is he at 0? Would he be considered at 0 hit points?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna do spare the dying.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have to touch him to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm going to grab my robes and flutter them out behind me, and I'm gonna slide myself in front and above him, like in this like white lavender mirage, and I'm just gonna like get over him and do spare the dying, and then I'm going to, if I haven't used all my movement, I'm going to try and pick him up and pull him back away from the front.
Rad.
Yeah, presenting my back to the skeletons, basically.
Roll me a quick strength check. Or athletics, I guess.
Yeah. Athletics. Cool. It is.
When do I get a chance to use athletics? I feel like this is the first time I've done it.
It is my worst. It is my worst trait.
Yeah.
15.
Oh. Yeah, you grab him and are able to slide him back past the front row. Because Robin had set up these 2 rows of people, one of them steps forward to take over, and you are able to haul number 1 back stable thanks to your spare the dying.
Awesome.
If you had rolled lower, I definitely would have had them do an opportunity attack on you. But
I rolled a 14, and I just have a +1, so that was close.
The 2 rows batter against one another, and you see the Lumineers step back briefly as they are being hammered pretty hard by this fierce double-bladed axe wielder and the spear wielder that is still standing. How long does the charm from the enchanting visions thing, whatever spell lasts?
It lasts up to as soon as I think probably once I cast another spell, it was, I'll just double check. Hypnotic pattern, it does require concentration.
Okay.
Up to a minute. So I don't think
Okay,
I can cast another spell without ending my concentration on that spell.
Oh, have you, because you did the...
Yeah, I did a guidance
Gotcha.
and an Eldritch Blast. So yeah, I think definitely by this point, they're probably, any that weren't free yet would be free from the charm.
Gotcha. It is your turn. What are you doing?
Okay. Gosh, not taking any damage yet. It's making him very confident. I'm still saving my real spells. I have more. I have like one more spell slot. So I. This is such a his thing. Okay, I would like to cast Thaumaturgy.
Okay.
And I'd like all of the flames. It says you can kind of like make flames brighter or dimmer, and so I'll cause it's no mechanical effect, but
Yeah.
I would like to cause all of the flames, both remaining from the fire attack as well as any sconces and other flame sources, brighten up a little bit more.
Okay.
While one of the things it says you can do is make ominous whispers. Would you let me make like the sound of holy angels or something, like some kind
Ooh.
of? I want to inspire everybody, like without actually getting myself in the fight.
I like that. Okay, cool. We're hearing like very divine sounding sounds that are maybe a little creepy.
Yeah, I mean, but like maybe, but also like
joyous.
I want it to sound otherworldly. I want to kind
Gotcha.
of like, I want to get inside all of the Lumineers' heads, and then I'm gonna shout because I feel like I need them to feel wrong still,
Yes.
but like an adrenaline kick.
Gotcha.
I don't want to like make them feel like it's okay to die. I want them to feel like they're in a very bad situation. I'm a big believer.
Mm-hmm.
If I could just have a brief aside, I'm a big believer that once you get in with somebody emotionally on any level, it just gets easier to access all the other levels, right?
Yes.
You make someone laugh really, really hard, you're gonna be able to make them cry.
Yeah.
And so like my sense is if I can get inside these guys emotionally, and then I'm gonna yell as the lights brighten. I'm gonna say, "I can tell that Lumen is here, and he is behind you."
Yes.
booming my voice out, amplifying.
Cool. So you're doing this as your action, correct?
Yes, full action. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna move.
I'm going to say with that, I'm going to give these guys advantage on their next thing. That is very good. I like that a lot.
It's such a perfect fair landing move because it's helping but not doing anything really.
Yes. All right. As you do this, number two and the person the two people at their sides are stepping forward, and he looks over to number one, lying on the ground, who you've just pulled aside and saved, and they shout. All three of the people in the front row shout and just start wailing on the person with the double-bladed axe, which is covered in the blood. Ooh. Dealing quite a chunk of damage, and as they're wailing against it, the rib cage starts to crack and shatter and break in, and then eventually the body collapses, and then they immediately turn to the one carrying the spear and staff and start beating on that one as well. And their body, their spear drops, their necklace falls to the ground. All of it just like they just hit the ground and just their body splits apart. And the four behind are all standing there. And are they still charmed at this point?
No, definitely not.
Okay. At this point, they standing there ready but hesitant. And now it's your turn.
Ooh. Okay. That feels good.
Yeah, you have burst through the first row, leaving only four left.
Okay, Fair's starting to get the sense that like if they can win this, these people will die for him. He's feeling like he's building a bond that rarely ever before has he been able to kind of get this level of trust from people. So he's gonna rush forward. I want to be right at the front lines, and I'm just gonna do whatever one is next in like closest to perimeter or closest to dying.
Yes.
I'm gonna cast an Eldritch Blast. That's 12.
That is not quite enough to hit.
Dang. All right.
Just barely.
That's all right.
But I have nobody has from the cleric's side have done anything to assist this round. So I'm going to have one of them. I'm going to be adding a D4 to your roll.
Okay.
And we will see if they're able to get you at least 2 points. That would just be a 1. Damn it.
Not enough. That's okay.
The gnome
I'm doing
gnome
it for show
slides
as much as
in,
I...
and they tap the ground, and like a stream of moss grows over the tile, and then bunches up on the leg of the person that you were attacking. But they just shake it off and are able to bounce away from your attack.
I'm just gonna like shout, "The day is ours!"
Boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. The Lumineers are confident. They're happy. They're not happy. You see like a rage and a passion, and
They're certain.
They are certain. They are powerful. And one of the skeletons with the hand axe jabs that axe straight into one of their biceps. Not doing a lot of damage, thank goodness. Let's say the Lumineer had a little bit of leather armor on, and is still standing.
Could have turned the tide a little bit there.
Could have turned the tide a little bit. And now it's your turn.
All right. I'm going to move over to the guy who got attacked, cast guidance, laying my staff on him, and then if I can, with the offhand, just swing the sword at the skeleton that attacked him.
Okay, do that. Looking for a 14.
Natural 20.
Woo! Give me that double damage.
Sweet.
And then describe to me, well, we'll see how much damage you do. Minions are fun.
It's a 3 and a 1, so
3 and a 1? Okay.
4.
That actually does put you over enough. Okay, cool. Describe to me how you take out this one.
Oh, okay. I would like to blade right through one of the eye sockets and explode through the back of the skull.
You do that.
Sweet.
And as you do that, let's roll again for both groups. I am sorry. Like, I was worried that things were going too easy for the Lumineers, and I just rolled a 14 for the Skellies and a 1 for the Lumineers. Okay.
These guys are just so bad at their job.
So the person who had just been hit in the arm by that hand axe, one of the other skeletons right next to the one that you just shattered, comes up to them and digs a dagger straight into their stomach, and they collapse over.
Oh no. Are they dead?
They're at 0. Yes.
Okay.
They're not dead, but they're at 0.
Man, the fact that I haven't gotten hit yet is the only reason why I'm still in this. I'm gonna do exactly what I did for number 1, and I'm gonna make the same move, spin over, billowing my robes as much as I can, and spare the dying on this person, and then I'm gonna try and pull them back to safety.
Well, I mean, that's that athletics check to see how well you can pull them away.
5.
Okay, as you rush forward, the Skelly, that same Skelly that just managed that attack, is going to attack at you with their thing. 6.
12.
Okay.
Oh man.
And then we're gonna roll.
Maybe rip the robes a little bit.
Maybe rip the robes just a little bit.
Some battle tear. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll both sides. Okay, just barely, the skeletons and the Lumineers meet in the center, and one of the Lumineers bursts from that back row and tackles the one that had just stabbed the others, bringing him to the ground and wailing on him with his club. So at this point, there are 2 Skellies left, and 4 Lumineers, plus a few clerics.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Do it.
So I cast Hypnotic Pattern with the intent of charming and ceasing these 2 skeletons from any further action, and I'm gonna yell as loud as I can, cease! I'm gonna basically drop the sword and put my hand out and just say, cease! With the intent of, if it works, I don't want the Lumineers to keep attacking.
Gotcha.
Essentially just end combat.
And as you do that, Professor Tucker holds up that same prism that he was holding up before, which magnifies the pattern, adding 1d4 to your spell save DC.
Let's go.
3. So what do they have to beat?
They have to beat 18. Wisdom.
4.
Yes.
And the two skeletons stand up straight, but a little slack, and their daggers drop from their hands.
Do the Lumineers pause at least?
The Lumineers, one of them is rushing forward, and one of the ones in the back grabs their shoulder, stopping them, and looks back at you.
Oh, okay. So this is 1 minute. It's all the time I have. I'm gonna step amidst the Lumineers and move towards the skeletons, and I'm gonna say, grab any rope that we have and bind these skeletons before they reanimate. I have but a minute I can hold them. Okay.
Okay.
We got live skeletons.
This has got live skeletons. This has been quite a battle-heavy episode. I was not expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. But
that was
yeah, man.
awesome. I loved it. I loved being like a commander. That was really fun.
Yeah. I will say, I knew it was possible that you were going to like flee off and not do any combat. It was also possible that you were going to stick around and fully do combat. So I was so like worried. I was like, how am I gonna make this like interesting with like, you know, one player and 18 other people. So,
I loved it. And honestly, for Faer, this is like the biggest opportunity. He loves being trusted.
Oh, rad.
and he's so hungry for more authority. I think this is like the reward felt worth the risk. So having like literally pulled 2 of these guys from the brink of death feels pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, thank you again, Josh, for joining us. And thank you, everybody listening at home. If you've been enjoying the show, you know, tell your friends about it. Go back. If you're new to the show, go back and like listen to some other ones. Have a good time.
I'm curious if you're listening, whether you want to see Faer fail or succeed.
Oh boy, tell us, please. I really am interested.
Because I, as a listener, honestly, myself, I would probably be rooting. I like kind of Breaking Bad. Like I'm enjoying the downfall. Like I want to see the, you know.
Yeah, how low he can go.
Before it just like it turns. You know, it's got to turn. Like yeah. But I'm in as a player. I'm rooting for him. I'm like I think I can get away with this. I think I can.
One of the things I feel like listeners have probably noticed this. I will occasionally make a like very strong happy reaction or a very strong like sad reaction, and it is impossible to tell. I would guess whether I crit failed a roll or crit succeeded a roll, because I'm really happy for either way this swings. You know, whether like the good guys do really well or the bad guys do really well, no matter what, it is fun and cool. I like those big swings.
Yeah, man, this was super fun. I've never done a combat like this, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was so much fun. Yeah,
awesome. Cool. All right. Well, until next time, how about we go ahead and pitter patter on out of here?
Let's do it.
Thank you to the Droid Drops for the use of Not Drunk as our intro and outro music. Thanks to all of our guests, and thanks to you for listening. You can find us and say hi over at sidecharacterquest.com or by checking out our show notes for more links and information. If you're enjoying the show, drop a rating or review wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you around. Bye!
Podcube. Our Podcube devices are able to record audio from any time or place, in space or time or place.
And this is what they're picking up.
I hate flowers. I feel like a poop seller. I feel like I'm selling poop.
There's a whole baby Mark Zuckerberg in here.
Is it real?
I don't think so, but it's wet and it doesn't smell good.
Did you smell the mouth?
No, I didn't smell.
Hi, welcome to Circuit City. Can I help you find anything
Now,
today?
politely, just shut up. I'm going to take this iPod, dip it in some sauce. Ooh, hard to eat. Bet you it'd be harder to eat without all the sauce on it.
Search Podcube in your podcast app or go to poweredbypodcube.com. Podcube.
The future.
Is yesterday.
This is just gonna all just be bloop stuff.
Gotta turn the robot off. Gotta turn the robot off.
Just a quick reminder. It seems like we might be going into like I don't know what your plans are.
Oh gosh.
But I think we are definitely in a situation where you could decide to go full bore, full combat, and I am prepared for that. I want you to know that if there's any point where you're like rolling or you're trying to decide what to do, I will let the silence ride so that I can just chop that out.
Okay.
So, if you're ever, don't worry about pacing when it comes to like, if you're trying to decide what to go on, feel free to like narrate your thoughts if you want. But don't worry about pacing. It'll all come out in the edit. I have had battles where like the battle took 20 minutes and the final edit was like 7 minutes because there's so much like, okay, let's decide. Let's roll.
Man, there's so much fluff in combat episodes are some of the most unsatisfying to edit in my opinion because you're cutting out so much. You have to be so meticulous with the edit and you get so little for all that time. Very depreciating returns. Okay. Yeah, I think I I know exactly what he's going to do.
I will say also that I will at the end of episodes usually I will have like a section where I put in little like bloops and stuff. So if there's ever anything that you say that you're like that's funny but I don't want Ty to include that in the main show, but you do want me to include in the edit, feel free, or the bloops, you can just say that.
Honestly, I think anything that I say about myself always on the table.
Cool.
If I say something about like Reed or Kelsey or anybody else, so long as you've heard me say that like publicly with Titans or Sneak Attack, totally cool. But if it's something that like is more personal or whatever, that's the stuff I would say.
Yeah, social security number.
I don't know. I
address.
don't know what the fuck I say sometimes. So I would. I'm very hesitant. I worry. Okay, so there's another podcast just reached out to me, asked if I would guest on an episode or two, and they were like, we've had such a hard time finding other family-friendly podcast people to like connect with, and so I was like, totally cool. Just so you know, your editor may have to do some work. Yeah, because I have like I'm kind of out of the habit.
Yeah. It's such a hard like. I wish that I had at the beginning of SCQ had just decided I was going to do a clean show, but. I don't know. At the same time,
I feel like it's hard. Once you go down that road, it's like you can't be a clean show and then unclean. Like it's something because you're basically like gonna get tons of backlash. Rather than if you just start allowing yourself to use some curse words. Clean road ahead.
It's also like okay, so it's a clean show, it's a family friendly show, and now let me slide this sword into this person's clavicle.
Yeah, we did that in Sneak Attack. That was it's like Sneak Attack was accidentally family friendly. Like that was it was like we didn't set out to be that. So yeah, we cut people in twain. Which by the way, Twain as a name has been in my head the whole time, and I'm like. What kind of DM are you? Are you the kind of DM that you're gonna like seed character traits into the name at all? Am I like, should I be like, is this Twain? Is there like two halves to this person or their family?
You should ask me this after the episode because I do have a very specific reason that they are named that. Okay, and I don't want to. I feel like it might give you too much for me to say beforehand.
Totally cool.
But yeah, feel free to ask me after.
Okay, cool.
All right, you ready to go in?
I'm ready.
Whew. I'm so excited to move. I'm moving in a month.
That's great.
So excited to have like a.
The anticipation is the
space.
Worst part. Once you just getting it done is a good feeling.
I tested out. This is right. I'm sorry. And speaking of anticipation, but I just tested out hooking up my DSLR camera as a webcam, and it's so freaking beautiful,
Really?
and I'm so excited to get it all like configured.
That's awesome.
Don't do that.
Roll
All
for
right.
cat.
Roll for cat.
Did I yell when I burst in? Did I yell okay.
You did. You yelled something. You don't have to remember exactly what it was. You can just say something new. You said something along the lines of. I made a note. You basically said something about the undead having arrived.
Okay.
So I'm going to narrate a entrance to this, and then it'll leave an opening where you can either shout something, can be new thing, it can be happen to be the old thing, whatever, or you can pick up right after you have shouted something.
Okay.
It is up to you. Doors knock open again and then slam shut. Listen, it's how would you phrase this? I wasn't expecting you to question her about this.
Oh,
yet.
really?
Or I kind of felt like if you had gotten to this point with her, you would have gotten to it with her earlier. You know what I mean? So I haven't been
Not
thinking
under
about
the
it.
stress of the urgency. Can I thaumaturgy a bright light above everyone's head, like facing the kind of illuminates the skeletons?
Hell yeah, do that for me.
Sweet.
Or yeah, I mean that happens.
I'll just as I point the sword up, kind of
bursts of light bursts over. Rephrase that, and I will give me a description that I will edit in right after I say hell yeah.
Okay.
And then
as the door's breaking open, I point the tip of my sword above as I kind of step amidst the lumineers. And I just say, prepare yourselves.
Loud car. Come on.
I don't hear anything.
I'm glad. I'm hoping it's not getting picked up, but I have definitely heard stuff that Google has hidden from guests that then when I listen back to the recording, it is clear as day.
Oh yeah, no, I trust your judgment there, yeah.
Spear wielder that is still standing. How long does the charm from the enchanting visions thing, whatever spell lasts?
It lasts up to I mean, as soon as I think probably once I cast another spell, it was I'll just double check. Hypnotic pattern. It does require concentration.
Okay.
Up to a minute. So I don't think I can cast another spell without ending my concentration on that spell.
I'm not sure. Do you think we've done 6 rounds at this point?
No.
Oh wait, 10 rounds is how many it would need to be, right?
Yes. 6 seconds per round, yeah. But that's I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure concentration can't be held between spells.
Oh, have you because you did the
I did a guidance.
Gotcha.
And an Eldritch Blast. So yeah, I think definitely by this point, they're probably any that weren't free yet would be free from the charm.
Hey, I got a question for you. Do you know your D8s from your D12s? Do you know your modifiers from your bonuses? Do you know your luck points from your story points? No idea what any of the last 3 questions mean? Come check out What Am I Rolling? A twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, hosted by me, Fiona. I like exploring different RPG systems, rule sets, and the stories they create. I also like talking to game designers about how to run their games. So, come check it out. We would love to have you. The What Am I Rolling podcast, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Part of the One Shot Podcast Network.